And thank you to the Planning and Development Committee for hearing my testimony. I am here in opposition to Bill 6890. Whilst I love the idea of transit-oriented development and have seen many successful ones in my area, I represent both Norwalk and Darien. In Norwalk, South Norwalk has a very large community right around their station. And in Darien, we have 3 new ones that are being developed right now. So I am a big fan, but there are some issues with this particular legislation that I do not like. One is the density. We live in, I represent communities that are very populated and Lower Fairfield County. So taking the density to 20 houses per acre for less than 60,000 or 30 houses per acre for greater than 60,000 is a lot to take for communities. And out of the 2 districts that I do represent, Norwalk has 4 train stations and Darien has 5 that are within the half-mile radius. So a couple are outside of Norwalk, but the half-mile radius is still within, or excuse me, Darien, they are outside of Darien, but still the half-mile radius is within Darien. So there's no specific language in this, whether if the station is outside, whether you're responsible for creating this transit-oriented development, if those count, if those don't count, or if it's, so we have one that lies in Stamford, if Darien would be required to do the 30 houses per unit because the station actually lies within Stamford, that seems to be a little ambiguous and unclear. My next issue is this phrase determined by coordinator that is seen throughout the bill. And it is, it's regularly stated and it's clearly a new position that will have to be formed. And their duties are vast. And one of the issues is, will they even know the towns with which they are overseeing? Will they understand the issues within that municipality? And kind of looking through some of those duties that you see with this new coordinator, those duties are already done by our local planning and zoning committees, except that our local planning and zoning staff also consider traffic, roads, and local schools. So looking at this coordinator as being a non-elected official, the other things that they are allowed to do is they can change the amount of density. If the 20 or 30 units per acre is not enough for this person that we don't know yet who it will be, they can add more. They can decide.
Representative, your 3 minutes are complete.
Okay, thank you. So just finishing up, they also look at the deed restriction and can change that. They can look at reasonable size and change. And so in conclusion, I guess one of the last things I just would like to mention is that whilst we want to be a state that really relies on our transit-oriented communities, we are not there yet. We had many speakers in Transportation Committee from the non-English speaking community that stressed this in many ways because they were struggling to get their driver's license. And whilst we want to be that state that relies on this kind of transportation, we're not quite there yet. Thank you so much for your time.